What's up, B?
I think the intro said it all. We're one episode away from completing our Sweet 16. And to say the competition is out of this world would be an understatement.
And if this is your first time with us on YouTube, welcome. We're so excited to have you. You have joined us at an epic moment in Tortured Bourbon history. Be sure to check out all of our previous episodes, which we will link at the end of this one.
And for those of you returning, welcome back. We love having you in our bourbon family. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Right down there. Your support means everything to us. No, it really means everything to us. It really does. Just look at the algorithm. And don't forget, in our links below, don't miss out on the merch and social links. And while we're mentioning merch, in a Darth Vader chic black, this is what the t-shirt looks like in real life.
That's right. And folks, this is the Comfort Colors brand, which all of our sorority t-shirts in college are made out of this. It's my favorite t-shirt brand. It's so soft. It's so solid.
Heavyweight, ring spun, 100% cotton.
You're really making a hard sell here.
But they're good t-shirts.
And y'all, we're selling it at cost, no profit here. Yeah. We'd love it if you clicked on the link and bought one.
Absolutely.
Also, while we're talking about clicking on links, if you can help us grow our socials through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, we'd really appreciate it. Also, personally, I'm trying to convince B here that social media is not just a fad.
It's going away.
I'm going to teach him about TikTok later. He's going to love it.
Is that a dance?
Give yourself to the dark side.
Oh, let's put you to bed, sweet guy.
Before we go on, by the way, what we're drinking, our warm-up tonight, was a gift from my buddy Matt. Just wanted to say thank you. This is Bighorn Bourbon Whiskey from Willie's Distillery. This is pre-COVID, bottled in 2019.
Well, that is vintage for many reasons.
And fantastic. Matt, I hope you and them are doing well. We miss you guys. Now, let's on to this showdown between Sith Lords.
I want to be the good guys.
This showdown between Jedi Masters.
That's better.
Our mission in this series is to find the ultimate bottled in bond. Now to do that, we have put 16 whiskeys against each other based on price point and popularity. And tonight, we have an epic face-off, a lightsaber duel right here.
Our first bourbon master, get it, B? This is a Star Wars reference?
I'm glad we're drinking.
So first tonight, y'all, we have Henry Mckenna 10-year bottled in bond. This is a highly sought after bottle. It is produced by the good people at Heaven Hill. Now it's time for History with Heather.
We've all been waiting for it.
I know, you've been waiting. You're so excited. Henry Mckenna was an Irish immigrant who, after settling Kentucky with his family, opened a grist mill in 1855. Now, farmers would pay him with a portion of their milled grains, which he then used to make his bourbon. By 1858, he was producing so much bourbon and was so popular that he had to hire a full-time still superintendent.
That's awesome.
He became famous, actually, for the quality of his bourbon, and that was owed to two things. One, because he practiced a lot of sanitation methods, which were a little unheard of at the time, frankly. And also, he aged his bourbon to a minimum of 5 years. He actually became so popular that he had to relocate his still and his family to Louisville, and he established a distillery on what would become known as Whiskey Row.
That's right. Interesting enough, at that time in Kentucky, for every 200 people, according to census, that includes women and children in the census, men, women, and children, for every 200 people, there was one registered still.
Wow, and those were just the registered
and
ones.
And he was actually managing to sell bourbon.
That
tells you something. Today, Henry Mckenna, bottled in bond, is aged 10 years and is a single barrel offering. Makes it even more desirable. Its mash bill is 78% corn, 12% rye, and 10% malted barley. Now, Heaven Hill says its aroma is rich with vanilla, caramel, and oak. Its flavor profile, smooth oak, sharp spices, honey, with a long, sweet, spicy finish.
So this sounds like the perfect bourbon for both of our palates.
It's good stuff.
I'm excited to try it. I haven't tried it yet. One of us here has.
I haven't tried it out of this bottle.
That's
and
true.
being they're single barrels.
That's true. So this is, like you said, this is a single barrel bottled in bond, aged 10 years, and it is priced around $75, depending on if you get it MSRP or off the secondary market.
Now, if you can find it, it's not cheap, but for bourbon lovers, frankly, that price point is a solid investment. But 5 years ago, pre-COVID, pre the boom, you could find this between $35 and $40.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's insane.
I actually ran into, speaking of, an older gentleman at the ABC store the other day, and he told me that he used to be able to buy this exact bottle for about $20 in his younger days.
Back in my day.
That was very...
You pesky kids, get off my lawn!
We talk about the bottle. It's a pretty green.
All right.
Yeah.
What's next? Who do we have as a challenger?
Our other Jedi Master comes from one of the most historic and revered families in Kentucky bourbon. I mean, you say this name, you say the name of the distiller in Louisville, and they know it. But it's Old Forester Bottled in Bond, which was born in 1870 on Whiskey Row in Louisville, Kentucky.
Is it story time with B?
It's a dark time for the empire. The father of Old Forester was George Brown. Now, unlike other distillers, his history is not a youth steeped in distilling. Mckenna, he made whiskey in Ireland before
basically out of the womb. He was making whiskey. Yeah.
Brown actually starts as a pharmaceutical salesman.
Okay.
All right. Back then, whiskey is considered medicinal.
Medicinal.
That's right.
Don't we still kind of consider it medicinal?
We definitely still do. After NC State versus Tennessee, it was very medicinal for me. So, moving on. So he's a pharmaceutical rep, and he's going around to these different places. So he's hearing about the complaints and the quality of the medicinal whiskey. Mm-hmm. At the time, whiskey is sold to the public out of barrels. So you go down to your local apothecary, you take your jug, your little brown jug with the X's on it, and you go to the barrel. It's flipped so you can pour it out, and you fill it up, and you go pay. You pay the salesman whatever, and you take your medicinal whiskey home to cure you. And the problem was sometimes it was bourbon and sometimes it was tobacco juice.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Horrible.
Oh.
So he comes up with a very bright idea. And his bright idea is, he says, what if we bottled this?
Okay.
And we sealed it? All right.
So he's kind of combining his love of good whiskey with his kind of medical background.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he's way ahead of his time. Mm-hmm. So he and his brother, they start doing that. They buy barrels from distillers. They combine them to get a consistent product, mm-hmm. seal it, they're good to go. And within a few years, they're so successful, they buy the distilleries from which they're sourcing.
Wow, so they really were ahead of their time.
Big time. And the name Old Forester even is ahead of its time. Brown knew how to make a buck. I mean, mm-hmm. So at the time, the most famous doctor in America is Dr. William Forester. He's a national hero. He's living in Louisville, but during the war, Civil War, mm-hmm. he's at Andersonville.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's a doctor, and he treats Union and Confederate soldiers. He's a national hero. Brown goes to him and says, what if I put your name on my medicinal bourbon? If he endorses it, he's the most famous doctor in America, it's got to be good for you. It's got to be good.
So this is like the first endorsement deal.
This is the
Air Jordan.
Yeah, this is Jumpman of whiskey right here. This is the Jumpman.
As a UNC fan, I appreciate that.
I'm glad you do. It's still produced by the Brown family. We know them as Brown-Forman. Mm-hmm. Old Forester's is one of the few bourbons that continued production through Prohibition. Why? Because it was medicinal. They, mm-hmm. I think there were six or eight different. And
so one of the few. Yeah.
Its mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. It's aged for 4 years. They claim it boasts aromas of robust caramel and flavors of rich vanilla, roasted coffee, spiced dark fruit, mature oak, finishing with deep spice, oak, and vanilla.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Brown-Forman produces a few other well-known products. Jack Daniels, which the whole world has heard of.
Yep.
Woodford, which if you've ever been anywhere around the Kentucky Derby, you've heard of.
That's right. And
just to name a few.
Yeah, and interesting enough, Brown-Forman is one of the few distilleries, if not the only distillery, that owns their own cooperage. So they make their own barrels. They're controlling the product from start to finish.
Wow.
And they're very proud of that. At least that's one of their claims.
It's a one-stop shop.
So that's why tonight's so special. We've got these two Jedi.
Master Jedi.
And to be clear, we don't know which of these is which. They look very similar.
They do. The colors are very similar.
But
There's such a
we've got-
deep, like,
Yeah.
auburn. Oh, they're so pretty.
So we've got these two Jedi Masters, and they are facing off in an epic lightsaber duel right here in front of us.
And we know that Old Forester is a bar staple. I mean, everywhere you go, Old
Everywhere.
Forester's on there. And then Henry Mckenna, around here, that is harder to find than a calm political debate these days. You're not going to find it.
Now let's remind everyone how this works. Our trusty Aussie Katie, Thunder from Down Under, has set these two bourbons up for us completely blind. We don't know which one is which. These are one set, these are the other.
Yeah, we have no idea. So we're going to drink them both. We're going to taste them, and then we're going to rank them using our soon-to-be famous bourbon scale.
That's right.
And then we're going to choose a winner, and we're also going to try to see if we can tell which is which.
May the Force be with us.
May it be with us.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
All right, I think we start with number one. What do you
start with
think?
number one, and I go to the front.
I go to the back.
Yep.
All right, sir. Well, right off the bat, like we said, the color's beautiful. It's a rich amber color.
I don't want to do it, but I saw this guy lay one of these glasses down and roll it with
Okay.
bourbon in it.
You know how
I'm
we're
not-
taking the pretentiousness out?
I'm
I don't
not
think we're
doing
going that
but
far.
That was so cool.
we would just spill it everywhere.
We would, yeah.
I don't want to spill either of these.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Smells amazing. No burn.
I'm making noises breathing like Darth Vader smelling this.
You do sound like Darth Vader. R.I.P. James Earl Jones, by the way.
All right, what did you get on the... you've already accepted. What did you get on the aroma?
So on the aroma, I got a little bit of vanilla, which is kind of common. The taste is phenomenal.
That's good.
It's so good.
There it is. That's good stuff.
What taste are you getting? I get a little oak, a little bit of caramel, coffee.
Yes.
I get a little coffee.
The front and back end are very different.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And then the so see what you taste before you taste it again. See what you're tasting in your mouth right now. Don't put it down. That's where I'm getting the coffee. Is that aftertaste? That little bit of bitter.
They do say that women have a better palate. But
Cheers.
I do
You get it a little bit. You don't have to lie to me if you don't.
No,
Get it a little bit.
I get what you're.
You get what I'm going
I get
at for.
where you're going.
Yeah. Oh, I'm making excuses to sit here and drink the whole thing because it's delicious.
That's good.
Oh, do you want to wait to rank it till we taste the other? Okay. Okay. All right. If you'll pass me the front. This is another beautiful amber color. I'm doing some pretty little legs on my glass here.
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna clean my nasal palate here. It's a little different smell.
That's a little different.
I smell more vanilla in that one.
Yep.
Maybe a little caramel. It's a little spice at the end. You sound like Darth Vader. You ready to taste?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's smooth.
I know which one you like better.
Which one do I like better?
You like this one better.
I'm not ready to make that decision.
Okay.
That's smooth though. It's got a little spice at the end. I do know which I think is which already.
Me too.
Okay.
Would you switch where these bottles are?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Yep. Nope.
Now we're so sure we are definitely going to be wrong.
That's exactly. Okay, so let's go back to this one. What are we tasting?
More oak.
More oak, more spice, especially at the end.
More oak.
The mouthfeel has a little more spice.
Yeah.
Like my tongue's tingling. My tongue's tingling a little bit.
Well, now I've talked myself.
It's more spice.
Dos.
Okay, left, right.
They're both good.
This one's a little sweeter, actually. Number 1.
On the front end, yes. There's the coffee.
So I'm about to pull a fast one on you, friend. This is my favorite.
Ooh.
I really like this one. The complexity of flavors and the finish, that coffee finish, which means I'm wrong. It's absolutely not the right one I think it is, but... Which one's your favorite, friend?
Number 1.
Yeah, number 1's my favorite, too.
And I'm upset with myself right now because I've had this one recently. They're all single barrels, so they're a little different. I get that.
They're both good.
They're both really
Very good.
All right, so
Very, very good, but...
hush your mouth.
I mean...
Hush your mouth.
Like, easy. Not even a difficult decision. Hush your mouth. Hush it all the way up.
Yep.
It's almost the cock of the walk. It's
It's
really
real
good.
close.
I love the complexity of this one.
Yeah, whichever this one is, it's complex.
I love the different flavors I get from, I mean, the very, very beginning to the very, very end. You taste so many different flavors. Even after. That's very good. I'm going to try 2 again.
I can chew on that for a while without it burning.
2 is delicious as well, but 1 might be one of my new favorites. It's just got such a complexity of flavor. It doesn't burn, but it's got some heat.
That's good. Okay.
All right, so number 2 is that... I don't know. I have a hard time rating that Dog Will Hunt because it's very, very good. And I know that if it was applied to some of the others that we've had in past episodes, it would have won. But this one is absolutely Hush Your Mouth. Number 1's Hush Your Mouth. What are you ranking number 2?
Best of all the losers we've had so far.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's saying something because I really like Statesville. I know you don't, but I really
I know
like
you
the
love that
Statesville.
one. So, but you got to rank it on our scale. Where does it live?
Hush Your Mouth.
So they're both Hush Your Mouth.
Yeah, but that one's better.
It's a slightly
Whichever
better
one
Hush Your
this
Mouth.
one is.
So that's what I was going to do. I rank them both Hush Your Mouth, but number 1 is my favorite of tonight, and I think our bottles are in the right spot. To summarize everywhere I think we are tonight. Do you have to agree? Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, I
Okay,
agree. We're
okay.
wrong, but I agree. Let's go.
Number 1 is the Forester,
Woo!
and that makes number 2 the McKenna.
We're getting better at this. So, we should have known because we love Old Forester. I don't think we've had a product by them we didn't enjoy.
No.
And the McKenna was good. Please don't misunderstand. It was very, very good. And had we had it against most of our other contenders, it would have been...
We might have to
winner.
one day do the loser's bracket.
We might have to. After we recover from the winner's bracket of this competition. But this is just, it's complex. And you know what's funny? My new friend at the APC store told me that the Old Forester would win hands down.
We got one more of these.
We have one more. And then it's down to the
then it's-
semifinals.
That's right.
This was a great competition, and I'm even more excited about our next one. We have 2 heavyweights. Tune in. Be sure
We
you
have
come
been
back.
waiting.
With bated breath. But for now, cheers, y'all.